Hey, speaking of mental health, you remember that time in the mid '90s on SportsCenter, and this PA turned in a shot sheet, and the handwriting was so atrocious that it created like a week of firestorm controversy on campus. Remember that on SportsCenter?
Yeah,
that was me.
yeah.
Yeah, and you taught me a great lesson about attitude that week, and I have remembered it ever since. And hopefully, my mental attitude has been better.
What was my advice?
Don't be. I think it was when I come to you and tell you that your handwriting is atrocious. You probably should listen and not be so defensive. But in my defense, I was 23 years old. I think 6 months earlier I was sitting in Western Civ class. So. But yeah, I go to Keith. I'm driving Keith to work, and I go, "Man, Dan's really mad at me." He goes, "Yes, you should listen to what he says," and I did. So thank you for that. It worked out.
Well, college grad, you thought you knew everything at ESPN.
I did. No, and I have a 16-year-old daughter now, so she knows everything, and I apply my Dan Patrick lesson to my life here at the house all the time.
So wait a minute. So you had to pick up Keith from his house, and because
I drove him to work 2 or 3 days a week. Yeah. My first day as a PA, I walk into the newsroom. I've been watching you guys all throughout college. I walk in the newsroom, and Keith is putting flyers in the mailboxes because the Southington Cab Company has increased its rates, and he's right. So he's looking for a ride to work, and I just come from Al Jaffe's office. I still have my tie on, and I go, "Are you serious?" And he said, "Yeah." I said, "What time do I pick you up tomorrow?" So I drove Keith to work for the whole 2 years I was up there. Yeah. I'd be like, "Man, Dan's mad. Should I be worried?" He goes, "Yes, you should be worried. You should talk to Dan and get this straightened out." I said, "Okay. Thank you, Keith."
You could write a book about that.
Yeah. Y'all wrote a book.
Yeah.
And maybe Marty and I'll write a book one day. I'll write a chapter about driving Keith to work and the time Dan Patrick had a seminar to talk about my handwriting.
But it did make us better at SportsCenter because of your handwriting and your shot sheet. Because
that's it. Yeah.
Like we were doing live highlights, and
it was.
It's chaos. When I tell people we didn't even get to see what you were writing, I'd get it on the air live.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And then I'd have to kind of figure out your hieroglyphics.
No, I knew it. So I'm literally running down the hallway, and you run 20 steps, put the paper on the wall, and write a shot. Run 20 steps. And I run in there and slide it in there. And I knew. I literally slid it in there like this. Like this. He can't read Gary Trent's name. What am I doing here? And thankfully you were good at it. So thank you for that. Yeah. And then I would take Keith to the dry cleaner and the TCBY.